Hello everyone, I'm meteorologist Charlie Neese. It is the 10th of February 2025 and we have a series of storm systems that will be pushing across the country. We've been talking about this, kind of a train of systems, one right after the other. Some folks will see heavy snow, some folks will see heavy rains, and could end up with some flash flooding as we head toward the end of the week especially. And we're going to see multiple winter storms with this as well. So let's take a look, let's break it down. First of all, what you're seeing are the watches and warnings across the country. We've got the most impactful are the winter storm warnings that are in effect for Virginia, West Virginia into northern Kentucky. This area, at least a portion of it, could be seeing significant icing. I'll talk more about that coming up, but also some locally heavy snows. And then by the end of the week, several inches of rain across Kentucky, Tennessee, down into northern Mississippi and Alabama. This area could be seeing that, and with a flash flood threat. So flood watches are already up for East Tennessee, parts of southern Kentucky into northern Georgia. More will be added to that. And then we have winter storm warnings with the second system across Missouri back into Kansas. And then we also have more winter weather for the Sierra Nevadas with some locally heavy snows coming into there over the next couple of days. We'll detail that too here in just a moment. But it's going to be an active period for us. Let me show you, this is the GFS model, the Global Forecast System, many times referred to as the American model, to kind of track what these systems are doing. There comes the first big storm. This is on Tuesday at noon. So it develops Monday night, the 10th, into Tuesday, the 11th. Locally heavy rains breaking out across Kentucky, Tennessee, Mississippi, Alabama, down into parts of Texas. Now, on the northern side of this, we are going to see some snow. This is occurring in areas for the beginning of this past weekend where we had temperatures in the 50s and 60s, and now temperatures are cold enough for snow along the Ohio River Valley, places like Cincinnati. And then there's your snow and some ice for Virginia into West Virginia. This system pretty quickly moves off the middle Atlantic coast though. This is for Wednesday morning, 6 a.m. That system, the bulk of it, the core of the system, the area of low pressure is off into the Atlantic, some leftover rains behind here for parts of North Carolina. Still a little bit of ice possible in Virginia, but here comes system number 2, and look at all the snows that quickly break out, Missouri into Kansas, right where we have that winter storm warning. And then we also have locally heavy rains and a few storms breaking out across parts of Arkansas, Louisiana, back into Texas. And as we go a little deeper into time, that system really ramps up and brings a lot of heavy snow to the Great Lakes and also parts of New England into the Northeast, with rains and a few storms to the south across the Carolinas into Georgia, around Atlanta. Some locally heavy rain possible by the overnight hours, Wednesday night into Thursday. But this snow is going to be a disruptive snow, could be very heavy at times. And also we're seeing a chill down as briefly some of this really cold air is going to be pushing southward. You know, places that were in the 60s and 70s just a few days ago, northern Texas, parts of Oklahoma are quite a bit cooler in the 30s and 40s as this system pushes through. As we go toward the end of the week, Friday, a little bit calmer for much of the country on Friday, just a few showers across parts of Florida. But you can see the system number 3 really ramping up coming out of the Rockies. Now, it came into California right before that with locally heavy rains, and this is back to Friday. This is Thursday night into Friday morning. Locally heavy rains across the Pacific coast. And we're eventually going to see the potential for some heavy rains also, even into places like Los Angeles as we go through the evening on Thursday. So Thursday into Friday, look for locally heavy rains, heavy mountain snows here in California. And then that system goes through the Rockies, kind of tries to fall apart with just some localized areas of snow, mainly in the higher elevations, and then it reforms, and then it goes through the east on Saturday. This is on the 15th during the middle of the afternoon. More heavy rain for Tennessee. Some thunderstorms are going to be possible with this, but mostly just rain. And then you can also see more snows from the Great Lakes back into the Northeast, New York State, Vermont, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, more snows. Now the good news is for places like Virginia and West Virginia, the system that's coming in later in the week, you're not going to have all the icy, wintry mix that causes the problems that you are as we go into Monday night and especially Tuesday and Tuesday night. So this is Sunday in the morning. That system is lifting off toward the east and moving out. and we're just seeing some pretty chilly air replacing it for the Ohio River Valley, the Tennessee River Valley, back into Missouri, Arkansas. And again, temperatures are generally cooler across the east than we've been in very cold air across New England into the northeast. All right, a little closer inspection. How much snow? Now, this is a total accumulation of snow through the week from the National Blend of Models, and this is by the end of the day, Sunday. So we're recording this on Monday the 10th. This is through the end of the day on the 16th. And you can see all of that banding of snow from the Northeast, New England, into the Great Lakes, areas like Chicago, Milwaukee, all going to see quite a bit of snow with this. Right around even Des Moines, Iowa, Ames, Iowa. And then to the south, you're kind of in that battle zone where there's going to be some wintry weather to start the week across the Ohio River Valley into Virginia and West Virginia. But as the week wears on, the subsequent systems will mainly be bringing rain to that area. Here is where the greatest icing looks to occur, and this is again going throughout the week, but the bulk of this is going to be occurring Monday night the 10th into Tuesday the 11th, and then through the overnight on the 11th as well. This is an area of Virginia, even the mountains of potentially North Carolina, but Virginia looks to be seeing the brunt of the freezing rain and sleet, enough freezing rain to coat power lines and create some icing conditions that could bring down some power lines in this area. So look out for power outages across Virginia into West Virginia, maybe even the very northern and western parts of North Carolina. The rest of this is mainly sleet and some freezing rain mixing with areas of snow through the week. This is the bullseye area, and that's where your winter storm warning also is included. Now, there could be some snow. There will be some snow as well through parts of this area, especially in the higher elevations as well of the mountains, and that's where your snow accumulations are going to be. Now, moving back to the west, this is through the entire week again. This is not coming all in one storm, but upwards of 20 inches of snow possible. Michigan, Wisconsin, it's going to be a snowy week, and it's going to be heavy at times. So by the time we get to Sunday night, the 16th, this is how much snow you would have had throughout the week on top of what you've already got on the ground. Rainfall, another threat, because as the week wears on and the rainfall totals pile up, as the later in the week systems come along, we're going to be seeing heavy rains falling on already saturated ground. So look for a potential flash flood threat across Tennessee, southern Kentucky, Mississippi, northern Alabama, and northern Georgia in this area, where models are forecasting upwards of 7 inches of rainfall over the entire week. 6.8 for Nashville, 6.4 for Columbia, Tennessee, 6.5 Huntsville, Alabama. So some heavy rains here and lesser amounts to the north. And again, up here, it's mainly going to be snow anyway. So again, here are your warnings with the pink indicating the winter storm warnings, and these will continue to be updated during the day on Tuesday the 11th, but much of Virginia into West Virginia, northern Kentucky, and then also some heavy snows will be breaking out across Missouri into Kansas with that second system as we go toward the middle of the week. We're also going to be seeing the potential for some severe weather now. This is with the systems in the middle of the week. So this is the outlook from the Storm Prediction Center for the chance of severe weather Wednesday into the early morning hours of Thursday. Slight risk here, Louisiana, Mississippi, into Alabama. Can't rule out an isolated tornado here. You're going to have to watch for that as those storms develop in the warm sector, in the warmest and most unstable air, as those low pressures go up the Ohio River Valley. And then there's another risk. This is Saturday into the early morning hours of Sunday, yet another risk for severe weather. This one may have a little bit more instability to work with across the Gulf coastal states. You're going to have to watch that carefully for the potential for some severe weather. But that's the way it looks right now across the country on the 10th. I'll give you another update in the next couple days as these storm systems really start to ramp up, get going, and we can get a closer look even of what's coming next. If you're interested, now that we're headed toward the end of winter and soon into spring, if you're interested in formulating your tornado safety plan, you can check out this video, and you can also check out my YouTube shorts for lots of tornado information as well. Stay safe.